In this video, I'm going to teach you how to have the best conditioning in your fight gym. Conditioning is basically the ability of your heart and your muscles to not get tired and keep outputting at a high capacity for a long time. So you need to be able to keep constant pressure on your opponent and be able to deliver like hard strikes or takedowns or submissions at any point in the round. And in terms of winning a fight, obviously skill is number one, but conditioning probably comes in second. If you gas out early on, then you've basically lost already. Khabib is a really good example of someone with really good conditioning. He literally never gassed out. So when his opponents were starting to get tired, he was still holding onto them with his legs, throwing them around with full force because he still had plenty in the tank. Having elite conditioning is literally a superpower, and most of the guys that you're fighting probably haven't taken conditioning that seriously. Having larger muscles actually hurts your cardio and your conditioning. If you want to be a good fighter, then you really don't need big muscles. Big muscles require more oxygen, so you're going to be breathing much harder in an attempt to deliver oxygen to those muscles. If you do have big muscles, then it's even more important to have really good cardio. You shouldn't follow a generic conditioning program. It should be tailored to you and your needs specifically. So I'm not going to give you a program in this video. I'm going to give you the principles you need to make your own cardio program. And it's not complicated or difficult, so keep watching and you can make your own program by the end of this video. Strength and conditioning should always be a part of your combat training. You probably already do some skipping and some calisthenics as part of your classes, and that's good. Fighting itself is also pretty good cardio training, but if you want better cardio than your opponents, you need to do dedicated strength and conditioning work outside of these classes. And you need to be working on cardio constantly as a staple of your training, not just before a fight. So you should be in good shape all the time, even when you don't have any fights lined up. So let's define conditioning properly. Conditioning is how well the systems of your body are able to create the energy that your muscles need to perform the skills of your sport in a competition. So in fighting, that means not getting too out of breath and being able to strike, throw, and grapple hard throughout the round. And the goal of conditioning training is basically to increase the size of your gas tank and increase how efficiently you can use that gas. So there are three energy systems that you need to know about. There's the aerobic system, the anaerobic lactic system, and the anaerobic alactic system, or the creatine phosphate system. And these are all systems which are designed to create ATP, which is the gas that your muscles use as fuel for muscle contractions. So I'll describe how each energy system works, and I'll give you 2 example workouts for training each of those systems. So a total of 6 workouts. The aerobic system uses ATP using oxygen to fuel long duration, lower intensity exercise. Improving your aerobic fitness will improve the amount of oxygen that's delivered to your muscles and your muscles' ability to use that oxygen. And you'll also increase the amount of blood that your heart can pump around your body and the number of mitochondria in your muscles. All of this means that you produce more ATP and your muscles will be able to use that ATP, that energy, more efficiently. So here's how you can train your aerobic system. And for all of these workouts I'm about to give you, you can do them either on your feet or on a bike or swimming. It doesn't really matter. You're training your heart and your muscles. Obviously, it's better if the methods you use to train your heart and your muscles are specific to your sport. So you could do rounds on the punching bag, or you could do skipping if you're a boxer, right? So the first workout is low intensity, long duration cardio. And the idea of this is it will increase the size of your heart so that it can pump more blood with each heartbeat. So to do this, you want to keep a heart rate of about 120 to 150 beats per minute. So that should feel pretty easy. You should be able to breathe through your nose and have a conversation with someone while you're working out at this intensity. And you want to work up to 60 to 90 minute sessions. And you can do 1 to 3 sessions per week. And the other aerobic workout you can do is cardiac power intervals, and this will basically increase the strength of your heart. To do this, you want to do max intensity sprints for 60 to 120 seconds, and then you rest 2 to 5 minutes between reps, and you complete 4 to 12 reps per session. And you can do 1 or 2 sessions of this per week. The anaerobic system produces ATP without using oxygen, and it makes ATP much faster than the aerobic system can. But the anaerobic lactic system, which we're about to talk about, produces lactate, which can build up in your muscles, and the hydrogen ions in lactate cause that burning feeling that you get from doing a high rep set of squats or something, or running at high intensity for quite a long time. And you want to train your body's ability to clear out that lactate as efficiently as possible. And the anaerobic lactic system is shown in yellow on the graph. So it's a lot quicker than the aerobic system, but you can't maintain it for as long. So here's how you can train your anaerobic lactic system. You can do lactic power intervals intervals, which will basically increase the amount of power that your lactic system can generate. And to do this, you want to do a max effort sprint for 20 to 40 seconds and then rest 1 to 3 minutes and get your heart rate down to like 110 to 130. So you want to catch your breath and chill for a bit. And then you do this 3 times to complete 1 set, and you rest 8 to 15 minutes between sets. So you're pretty much fully recovered. And then you complete 2 to 4 sets of this per workout. And you can do this workout 1 or 2 times a week. And you can also do lactic capacity intervals, which will basically increase how long you can maintain really high effort output. So you might need to go like 5 minutes in a round, quite high intensity like the whole time, and you need to train your ability to keep outputting at a high intensity for a long duration, like to last throughout the round. So to train this, you can do max effort sprints for 90 to 120 seconds and then rest 1 or 2 minutes between reps and perform 3 of those reps to complete 1 set, and then do 4 to 6 minutes of active rest between sets. So if you're running, then do some like very light jogging or walking to rest. If you're on a bike, do some easy pedaling, and do 2 to 4 sets per workout. And you can do this workout 1 or 2 times a week. So far with the aerobic training, we've increased the size of your gas tank with the low intensity cardio. We've increased the strength of your heart with the cardiac power intervals. For the anaerobic system, we've increased the amount of power that your lactic system can generate and how long you can keep outputting at a high intensity with the lactic capacity intervals. So the other system is the anaerobic alactic system, or the creatine phosphate system, which is shown in red on the graph. And this produces a lot of ATP very quickly, which allows you to do quick bursts of like absolute max effort activity up to like 10 to 12 seconds. So like a 1 rep max squat or a 60-meter sprint, that kind of thing. You can train this system by doing max effort strength, so 2 to 5 sets of 1 to 5 reps, and you want to rest 3 to 5 minutes between sets. Do 2 or 3 big compound exercises per workout like squat, bench and pull up, and between exercises you want to rest 8 to 10 minutes so you're fully recovered. And this will basically teach your muscles to really efficiently create ATP very quickly so they can output like maximum muscle contractions during like a 1 rep max or just a few reps in a set. And another thing you can do is alactic power intervals. So this is like top speed training. So you want to do like maximum intensity sprinting for 7 to 10 seconds, like your top speed, and then rest 2 to 5 minutes, get your heart rate down below like 120 so you're pretty calm, and then do 5 to 6 reps of this. And you can do this workout 1 to 3 times per week. Taking a creatine supplement will also really help this creatine phosphate system. So the body stores creatine phosphate in the muscles, and this creatine donates a phosphate group to ADP to create ATP really quickly. And if your muscles are full of creatine because you're taking a creatine supplement, they'll be able to make more ATP, which will improve your exercise performance and your muscle growth. And there are lots of other workouts you can do to train these systems, but I've given you 2 foundational workouts for each system. You could include all 6 of these workouts in a week if you're really serious, but you need to figure out which ones you need the most. So if you can run for miles but you suck at sprint intervals, that's probably what you need to work on. Or if you can explode in a fight and then gas out pretty quickly, then you probably need to improve your aerobic system, like the size of your gas tank, how quickly you can recover from those intense like flurries of punches, and how long you can sustain those flurries for. So training your anaerobic lactic system would be a good idea too. And if you're interested, then I'll make a more detailed video going into all of the possible workouts to train these systems. And there are a lot, so it'd be a really long video and really require your attention, but it'll be worth it if you're serious about improving your fight cardio. So let's talk about how to program your cardio training. You want to maximize your strengths and minimize your weaknesses. So I can lift quite high percentages of my 1 rep max for a lot of reps, but my 1 rep max strength itself is kind of lacking, so I'm probably more like slow twitch dominant. So I could focus on improving my max strength more, because my ability to lift heavy for a lot of reps is already quite good. So I want to increase my absolute max strength for like 1, 2 or 3 reps. That would be the anaerobic alactic system. And in the same vein, my long duration endurance and speed is pretty good, but my top speed while sprinting is pretty slow. So those are some areas that I need to work on, and you'll have strengths and weaknesses yourself that you should address with your cardio training. But everyone should have a foundation of aerobic training with low intensity, longer duration cardio. so this will give you a bigger gas tank. Importantly, you don't want to try and develop everything at once. Like, your body can only make good adaptations in a couple of areas at a time, like max strength and sprint speed. If you try and do like strength and sprint speed and 5k speed and marathon training, you're not going to get very far in any of them. You want to spend at least like 1 or 2 months at a time focusing on just a few areas to improve. In the tactical barbell base building program, for example, you focus entirely on long duration endurance and strength endurance for the first 4 weeks, and then you transition into maintaining your long duration endurance while progressing your max strength and your high intensity conditioning like sprint intervals. This kind of training is called block periodization, where you have blocks of like 4+ weeks where you're progressing just 1 or 2 main priorities in your training and you're maintaining everything else. Make sure you're measuring your progress numerically. So your resting heart rate, the number of reps of a sprint interval you do, your lift numbers, your 5k time, and so on. And you want to try and improve these over the long term. A good resting heart rate to aim for is like 50 to 55. Mine's about 45 to 50, and that's mostly from a lot of slow, steady running over the last 3 years or so, and also genetics. And I used to be very active as a kid, and I have pretty low body fat, and I do lots of walking and cycling. So all of those mean I have a pretty good heart, and my heart rate is quite low. In terms of your weekly training, I'd recommend at least one easy run at like 30 to 90 minutes in duration, some kind of interval where you have shorter rest times and longer working duration like the lactic power intervals, and some kind of top speed training with very short working sets like less than 10 seconds and long rest times so you're fully recovered in between, like the alactic power intervals. This means you're training your aerobic system, your anaerobic lactic system, and the creatine phosphate system once every week. And if you really want to develop one of those systems, then you can do more sessions for that system each week and just keep the other 2 at 1 session per week to maintain them. If you want a physique program alongside your cardio training, then you can check out my Toji physique program in the description. But this will basically take you through how to build a physique like this character Toji from Jujutsu Kaisen. You just follow the program and you will pretty much guarantee to see results as long as you do everything the program says. And I've had a lot of really good feedback from the guys who have tried this out. So check the link in the description if you're interested. Right, thank you for watching. I hope you found this helpful. Most of this information is from the book Ultimate MMA Conditioning by Joel Jamieson. It's a really fantastic book, and this video is a really short summary of all the amazing info that's in that book. So check it out if you want to dig deeper into this topic. Let me know if you have any other questions, or you can tell us your own cardio training schedule and advice. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.